Well, this is a three-part series of fishing the surf, wade fishing the surf. Whether you're fishing from rock grinds or wade fishing the surf, it's kind of a three-part series where I am talking about fishing the beachfront during this time of the year and all the fun that and the fish that it has to offer. So don't forget, you can check out the how to predict and how to watch out for that cleaner water, and what gear am I using when I am wade fishing, as well as where to fish. Now, that is probably like the biggest question that people have. No matter where you're fishing, everybody wants to know what you're fishing, where you're fishing with, what are you catching. So hopefully in this Texas All Water Fishing, I'll help you figure out just a little bit how you can figure it out. Everybody, welcome back. We're with Texas All Water Fishing, and today I want to talk to you about where to fish. Right, that is like one of the most asked questions that I get when it comes to fishing. People want to know, where am I catching the fish? And you may be watching social media and seeing other people catch fish as well, and you often ask that. I wonder where he caught that at. I'm guilty of the same thing. We just can't help it. Everybody just wants to hook up. So one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today on this Texas All Water Fishing is just that where to catch the fish in the surf, where to catch the fish when you are trying to wade fish or rock fish or any kind of fish when it comes to fishing that beachfront. All right, so this time of year, it is a great time to be out there. We have warmer waters. There's tons of bait in the surf. There's tons of great fish in the surf. Speckled trout, big O surf speckled trout, jackfish, pompano, Spanish mackerel. We will get lucky and get all those guys in the surf. Doesn't mean that they're every single day, but they're out there. You can also catch some really nice big reds too. So one of the things that I use when I am looking for places to fish, no matter where I'm at, is I use Google Maps. You can use Google Maps, Google Earth. It really helps you a lot to try to look and target some areas, and then you could put some pin drops on your phone and drive to those locations and be like, what, let me try this here first. Let me try fishing here, because you always need plan A, plan B, and sometimes even plan C. I recently went out on a trip with my buddy Charles, and we went to a spot that we fished before, and we've had relatively luck, but the water wasn't clean for us. And unfortunately, it wasn't until the sun came up a little bit, and we could see how dirty the water really was. So then we went with plan B. We went a little east, thinking that if we hit back over the seawall, we might get lucky and see some cleaner water on the rock groins, because we're looking for the clean water. We're looking for those big trout, and they really love that clean water. So we went down on the east end, and we didn't see any clean water. The further east we went, the dirtier the water got, and that happens a lot. Actually, most of the time, when you are looking for clean water, it's the further south you go, the further down to Surfside you go, the cleaner the water is going to be. And I knew that, but I still wanted to roll through and check out the rock runs as well and see what the seawall was looking like. And again, we went with Plan C. We headed towards San Luis Pass, and we found some clean water, and then we found a few specks. We got lucky and got a few specks, even if it was midday, and we probably missed that morning bite. Well, we did miss the morning bite, but even if it was during the midday, we still caught a few specks, and we had a good time. But I just want to show you real fast on the PC kind of what I do and what I look, how I figure out my trip, and how I come up with some of the spots that I do fish. And if you're a Patreon, then you're already been exposed to this, because I show my Patreons my route. I show my Patreons a lot of the kayak put-ins and places I go, and I give them a fish report, what I see out there on the water. And my Patreons have already seen a lot of this stuff, because I'll use a satellite image and then go and show them. So I'm going to show you just real quick and kind of give you a little glimpse on what they see. But if you are interested in becoming a Patreon today, then go ahead and click on the description section of this video. There's a link down there. Click on that link and that'll shoot you over to my Patreon page. All right, so this is Galveston right here, and you have the beachfront along this area down here. Now, one of the things that I do when I do come down to Galveston, and let's say it is not in the dark, we are not at sunrise, you can see what the water offers. Now, when I am looking at fishing off these rock groins, and you have rock groins all along here, and a lot of times these rock groins, they will have water that is dirty all around them. Sometimes you get lucky and you can cast to some of the cleaner water, but you can also park along the seawall and walk in, because like I said, there might be a dirt ring around here, there might be a dirty ring around here. So I will come and I will walk in and you can fish this area. But as I drive down the seawall, I will keep looking and looking and looking for cleaner water. And when I finally find a place that offers cleaner water that I think I can cast to, I will simply park along the seawall, pay for parking, and then I will walk out to the rock groin, and then I will fish the area. Now, if I am fishing the surf and I am surf fishing, I will come down, that is 61st Street, come down 61st Street, and I will hit the seawall, taking a ride on the seawall, going all the way down. And if you're not familiar with Galveston, or you're not familiar with fishing the surf or beachfront, we have these access points right here. You will see signs, and you have these beach access points. And this is why I say it's important to use Google Maps, because you can look at a point where you want to drive to and you want to possibly walk into, and you can pin drop that point. And you can pin drop several of them. That way you don't have to do it when you're on the water or trying to be on the go. You can do it the day before. But you can see right here, here's a beach pocket, but here's a free access point where you can drive down here, and you can come simply drive onto the beach. Now, most of these points, like 99% of the time, you're not going to get stuck. But if you do get stuck, it's going to be in the loose sand right here. Well, I want to say you'd be stuck, but if you have the most potential, it's in the loose sand right here. And just do not slow down. Just drive straight through it. Do not slow down. Use the gas, not the brake. It'll get you through the sand. And you come out here and just find a place that you want to put in, or you want to walk in. There isn't an exact sign to this. This is fishing. So, and when you hit your access point, back your car and back your truck in, and then you can just simply walk and wait fish. Now, if you are driving down from the seawall, what I simply do is I look for two things. I look for water clarity. Water clear is always first to me. The cleaner the water, the better odds you're going to have to catch in the fish. Or at least the fish that you want, the desirable fish. The speckled trout, they love clean water. Jacks, Spanish mackerel, all of them. Clean water. 2 is working birds. Birds are working on bait. They're diving on bait. They're eating the bait. Underneath that bait is fish. Typically, you can get lucky and it be Spanish mackerel. Sometimes you get lucky and it be jacks. Most of the time, it's going to be your speckled trout. Those big, nice, big, thick surf speckled trout. It can be sharks as well, but we're not looking for sharks. At least I'm not. So if I don't see clean water, I will keep driving and driving and driving and going further down. And then, here's another access point right here where you can, you probably can drive on this one. But yeah, you can drive on it. You can see these little posts right here that prevent you from going further down. So you can come down here and drive if you see clean water. If not, then you can just continue to go further down south. And again, this is why it's important to pin drops yourself a few spots where you can see where you can have areas where you can target. And here's San Luis Pass Bridge. Now, typically when you are not expecting or seeing cleaner water and it's dirtier, the further south you go down the coast, the cleaner the water is going to be. And here you go again. Here's another access point right here. So you can keep driving. If you see clean water again, then just shoot in there. You see birds working, then shoot in there and try to get some of that action. So after you find the clean water and after you find a spot where you're going to walk in, where do you fish now? Now, what do you do? Now, what's the next step? You know, typically we look for structure. We'll look for oysters. We'll look for grass lines. We'll look for any kind of deep holes and our guts. You know, a lot of times that's where you're going to find the fish that are going to be congregating. The bait's going to be congregating, so that's where the fish are going to be. The surf is flat. Underneath the surf, for the most part, it doesn't offer any structure at all. The ground, the earth underneath the surface of the water doesn't offer any structure. But we do have sandbars and we have guts. So no matter where you're at and you're looking for where the fish might be in the surf, look for sandbars, look for guts. Typically, where it's going to show you is where the waves are breaking. When the waves come up to the sandbar, they're going to break as they go over the sandbar. So anytime you see breaking waves, most likely there's going to be a sandbar right there. Right after that sandbar is going to be a gut. It's going to offer that structure and that protection that those bait fish like, and that's where the predator fish are going to be. So in the morning, right around sunrise, right before sunrise, bait comes in overnight. They get very close to the surf, so they will be in that first gut a lot of the times. So when you are walking out there and you're getting just ankle deep or maybe less than knee deep and you see that first little gut, you want to fish in there. Spend a little bit of time in there, whether you're throwing lures or live bait. Spend a little time fishing in that area because most likely you're going to catch a few predator fish in there. But while we're talking about that, I want to show you this real fast. All right, so this is where you have your first gut. You can see right here, this is where the water is coming over that sandbar, and you have that first gut. So it's always a good idea to post up right here and throw a few casts in there. Now, as you walk down, you come up to the next sandbar, and then you can fish this sandbar as well. And then you can walk down and then come up to the next sandbar and fish off this sandbar as well and fish that drop. Now, there is a third sandbar out here. I would be very cautious when you are trying to make it out there. On this particular day, it was extremely flat. We could not make it. I don't know how deep the water was, but we were treading water and I couldn't make it out there. Typically, if you do have some kind of swells and some kind of waves, then it's easier to swim, or it's easier to jump over the swells and over the waves and make it a lot safer. This day, it is extremely flat and we had a lot of swimming to do. And honestly, with shoes on and trying to keep my reel above water, we couldn't make it. But this is the area you want to target. There's a gut right there, a sandbar, a gut right there, a sandbar, and a gut right there. Now, how deep it gets out there is really based on the tide and based on the water level. There's, if you have a high tide, it's going to be deeper. If there's a low tide, it's going to be lower. Sometimes the tide might be so low and you won't even have that first gut. There will be pretty much nothing in there. So go with plan A, go with plan B. Pre-map out your day with plan A and B when it comes to where do you want to fish, where do you want to walk in at. Look for clean water, look for birds working, and fish off those sandbars, fish in that gut. Doesn't matter if you're throwing lures, top water, soft plastic, live bait, live croaker, or live shrimp. It really doesn't matter what you're fishing with. Those guts are the places that you want to fish, and you want to fan cast. Do a lot of fan casting. Don't be afraid to walk down some of those sandbars and try to find where those fish are held up. Keep an eye out where there's bait, there's fish. So if you see the bait, you see bait running through, cast at them, because a lot of times there's going to be some predator fish just right underneath those guys. But hey, don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video, leave a comment, click on the bell notification. It will let you know the next time we upload a video, and hopefully next time you catch me hooking up. Thanks.